What's going on, my friend? It's Dr. Delatorro. Welcome back to my channel. Listen, I'm pumped and excited that I have the opportunity to share with you what I like to call 7 ways to stand out from the competition. Seven keys to standing out from the competition. Y'all, here's one of the number one things that I hear. People ask me about the speaking industry and developing a speaking career literally every single week. Between all my platforms, I literally get about 50 inquiries a week. People asking questions about speaking. Every time I speak somewhere live, people rush up to me all the time and say, hey, tell me more about speaking. Tell me how do I get in? Tell me how do I do this? How do I do that, right? So I wanted to kind of do a video to teach you the 7 ways that you can stand out from the crowd, because y'all, there is an ocean of sameness out there. And I want you to write this down and remember this for the rest of your life. You must learn how to celebrate your own uniqueness. I said this in my podcast. If you're not subscribed to my podcast, make sure you subscribe to our podcast. It's called Crushing Life with Delatorro. And so find it on your favorite podcasting platform. But one of the things that I talk about is the importance of celebrating your own uniqueness. Because if 2 of us are the same, 1 of us is unnecessary. I'm going to say that again. Learn how to celebrate your own uniqueness, because if 2 of us are exactly the same, 1 of us is unnecessary. And so, my friend, I really need you to focus on how do you separate yourself from every other speaker that's out there? How do you separate yourself from every other influencer, author, coach, consultant, right? That's out there in the marketplace, because it's a crowded market space. Does that make sense? Right? The same internet that allows you to promote your brand for free allows people all over the world to promote their brand for free, right? So there's a lot of competition out there. And anybody that tells you that there's no competition is not accurate. Now watch this. When you become excellent and you become the best at what you do, yeah, you don't have as much competition, because there's nobody that can do you but you. However, especially when you're new and you're aspiring and you're trying to get into the industry, you're trying to create a name for yourself, trying to get a brand for yourself, trying to get respect and notoriety for yourself, you got to find a way to stand out from the competition. So let's jump into it, all right? Make sure you like and subscribe, turn on those notifications. We cannot wait to hear from you. Comment below, let us know what you think, share this video. Number 1, the first way that you're gonna be able to stand out from the crowd is through your content. Okay, my friend, I've been in this industry 20 years full-time, 22 years total, master's degree in content and curriculum design. And one of the things I can tell you is that content really and truly is king. If you want to be a great podcaster, you got to have great content. If you want to be a great trainer, you got to have great content. If you want to be a great actor or actress, you got to have great content. If you want to be a great writer, author, you got to have great content. There's nothing you can do, right? Even if you're a great videographer, you got to have a great, what's called body of work. That's your content, right? Right? So at the end of the day, right, if you're a great poet, hopefully you've written more than 1 play. If you're a great painter, hopefully you've painted more than 1 painting, right? So your body of work counts. Your content matters. And you got to create content that is unique to you. Most of us struggle in creating content because a lot of us are well-read, right? But nobody talks about the flip side of being well-read. When you're well-read, you also tend to teach a lot of other people's material. That's why you got to join our challenge, so we can teach you how to extract out of you your own amazing, epic, incredible content. Does that make sense? So one thing that's going to help you stand out from the competition is by having your own unique, incredible content. Second thing that's going to help you stand out from the competition is your style, baby. You got to have your own style. You got to have your own swag. You got to have your own flow. You got to have your own way of delivering the content that you create. Come up with your own style. Some of that style could be in the way you dress. Some of that style could be in the way you talk. Some of that style could be in the way you use certain lexicon and vernacular from where you came from. Some of that can show up in terms of the way that, like, your style of delivery. Is your style of delivery very no nonsense? Is your style of delivery humorous? Is your style of delivery very girl next door? Is your style of delivery more kind of, long lost mentor, sage, wise soul, right? Is it more holistic, your style? Is it more, earthy? Are you more metaphysical in your, what is your style? Are you in your face? Are you Gordon Ramsay, right? Or are you a little bit more Brene Brown, right? We all have different styles, right? Iyanla Vanzant has a very different style than Rhonda Britton, right? Marie Forleo has a different style than Ali Brown, right? right? Danny Johnson has a different style than Brenda Burchard, right? Tony Robbins has a different style than Dr. Delatorro McNeal. Joel Osteen has a different style than Bishop T.D. Jakes, right? So at the end of the day, and they're not wrong. Lisa Nichols has a different style. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, and none of them are wrong. They're all different. So you got to learn how to embrace and find your unique style of delivery that's going to allow audiences to fall in love with you. Not you trying to sound like somebody else. Not you trying to riff and flow like them, dress like them, use the same cadences, use the same examples, analogies, and metaphors, right? Use the stage like them. You got to create your own unique style. Third thing that's going to set you apart from your competition is, as you're delivering your content, how you engage with the audience. Audience engagement is huge, right? We spend time in our 5-day challenge talking about how to engage with your audience. Because my friend, at the end of the day, the audience wants you to interact with them. They want you to engage with them. And it's so vitally important. If you want to take it to the next level, you've got to learn how to create audience engagement, authentic audience engagements that gets the audience to raise their hand, that gets the audience to take notes, that gets the audience to cheer and shout with you, to lean into the content with you, to experience the presentation with you. Does that make sense? You've got to create authentic, write that word down, audience engagement if you really want to set yourself apart from the competition. One of the things that I love to do in my presentations, I love to use multimedia. I love to give my audience a multi-sensory approach that draws them in and keeps them hooked onto my content the entire ride. Your presentation should be a roller coaster ride for that audience. Does that make sense? Number 4, thought leadership. What is your own unique perspective on a topic, right? Thought leadership. Your own thought leadership on a subject will set you apart from everybody else that's out there. So what is your own unique take or vantage point or lens on a said thing? Have you taken the time to really get crystal clear about your own thought leadership? Listen, thought leadership means this: getting clear about how you feel about something, what you believe about something, and being unapologetic about that's your stance, that's your perspective. Now watch this. That perspective may be different from someone else, and that's totally fine. It's okay to disagree with someone who said something before you that was more famous than you. Does that make sense? Right? So, for example, right? I love Dr. Stephen Covey. He says, begin with the end in mind, right? And some of us might hear begin with the end in mind and think that we want something to actually conclude. But guess what Apple believes? Apple doesn't believe begin with the end in mind, because Apple never wants their customer to leave, do they, right? So Apple doesn't believe in the end of the customer journey. Apple believes in a cycle. You get the watch, you get the phone, right? You get the tablet, right? You get the MacBook Pro, you get the desktop, and by the time you get all 5 or 6 of those devices, it's time to get the newest version of the phone. Again, the newest version of the watch, right? So thought leadership says, don't begin with the end in mind. Begin understanding that you want your customer to continue to begin again all over again. In other words, you don't ever want the customer journey to conclude. Does that make sense? That's thought leadership on an old perspective. And you could create your own unique thought on, like, for example, one of the things that I say all the time is, we've all heard the expression, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him what? Drink, right? We've all heard that before, right? So when I teach, one of the things that I teach is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. However, you can make that horse thirsty. It's your job in your presentation to make that horse thirsty. That's my own unique thought leadership around something that we've heard before, and a thought we've heard before, but how do you take it to the next level? How do you create a new lens, a new vantage point around said subject matter to take it to the next level? Does that make sense? I hope you're enjoying this stuff. If you're enjoying this stuff, you've got to enroll in our upcoming 5-day challenge. It's called the Monetize Your Message Challenge. You're going to spend 5 days with me, and I'm going to teach you literally how to leverage public speaking and presentation to generate more clients, more contacts, more contracts, and more cash. Register right now for our upcoming challenge. All right, number 5. There's another thing that's going to set you apart from the competition is your passion. It's your passion. It's your pass eye on. Your passion. People are going to sum up your life in one word, and that one word is your primary passion. If I say Bill Gates, what do you say? computers, right? If I say Henry Ford, what do you say? The automobile, right? If I say Maya Angelou, you say what? Poetry. You say Still I Rise, right? I could name any person. If I say Oprah Winfrey, you say television. Does that make sense? If I say Denzel Washington, you say acting, right? At the end of the day, people are going to sum up your life in one word, and that one word tends to be the thing that you were predominantly, drop my daggum thing, the thing that you were predominantly passionate about, right? So as you speak, as you teach, as you coach, as you train, what is your primary passion? What is the thing that you're most passionate about? And see, one of the things people tell me all the time is they say, Dr. Delatorro, man, you get on stage with so much energy. The energy that you deliver your content with is absolutely insane. But my friend, guess what? They're not just seeing my energy. What they're really seeing is my passion for them to get it. They're seeing my dedication and my commitment. And there should be a passion that you have for what it is that you teach and talk about. If you're not passionate about, why are you talking about it? Find a subject matter that you're really passionate about. You might have one subject that pays the bills, but another one that you're passionate about. 9 times out of 10, my friend, I would tell you to teach what you're most passionate about. And if you're really passionate about it, trust me, the money's gonna come. That's a promise, that's a guarantee. Number 6, your story. Here's the truth. If there's 10 people that teach on sales, what makes one person stand out from the other is the story that they've wrapped around the principles of sales. Because the sales principles are pretty much universal. The principles of leadership are pretty much universal. The principles of customer service are pretty much universal. The principles of peak performance are pretty universal. The principles of any industry or of any subject matter are relatively the same. What makes us follow one wellness or fitness person versus another? It's not so much the principles of what they teach. What they teach is fundamentally the same. Nutrition, movement, wellness, rest. Does that make sense? Repetition, resistance training, right? All these great things, right? So at the end of the day, so they're teaching that. Those principles are pretty much the same no matter who you go to. What's different? It's their personal story. One person's journey versus someone else's. One person's journey in entrepreneurship versus someone else's. What's one person's journey, right, when it comes to self-development over someone else or leadership over someone else? Does that make sense? Think about Shark Tank. When we watch Shark Tank, it's one entrepreneur's story over another that sometimes makes the shark invest. Not that they have the best sales. Not like they've had a zillion people follow them on Instagram. But if their story is compelling, they tend to get the investment. Does that make sense? So my friend, your story could set you apart from your competition, but you got to take time to master your story. We go into great detail about story selling when you register for our 5-day Monetize Your Message Challenge. And then number 7, your process. Here's the truth, my friend. You've got to help people understand the process that it took you to get to be who you are and to get to be where you are in life and business. Does that make sense? You've gone through a process. You didn't get there overnight. And the more you can package your process, the more money you're going to make. Because your process is what's repeatable. Your process is what's duplicatable. Your process is what's sustainable. Your process is what's sellable. Your personality is not. Because at the end of the day, if you do all this based upon your personality, people can excuse your success away and say you were born on third base. But when you package your process, your A to Z, how you got where you got, then what you're really selling is your shortcut. And that's what people are buying. People are not enrolled, they're not buying your book, they're buying your shortcut. They're not buying your online course, they're buying your shortcut. They're not buying your mastermind, they're buying your shortcut. They want to get to that journey, they want to get to that end result without all the headaches, bumps, and bruises. Remember this, there's 2 ways to get wisdom. Mistakes or mentors. So why not hire the right mentor so you can avoid all the mistakes? And even when you have the right mentor, you're still going to make mistakes. Does that make sense? But you'll just make way fewer of them. And you'll probably make a whole lot more money as you make those mistakes when you have the right mentor. Does that make sense? So people are buying your shortcut. They're buying your process. And your process, watch this, could be the very thing that helps you stand out from the competition. My promise at the beginning of this video was that I was going to share with you 7 ways that you could stand out from the competition. If you implement just one of these, it'll make a massive difference in your career. Implement all 7, you will have a transformational shift in your speaking career. I want you to join me for our upcoming challenge, Monetize Your Message, the 5-day challenge. If this video blessed your life, imagine spending 5 days with us online, live, growing, developing, and building. Go to monetizeyourmessagechallenge.com. That's monetizeyourmessagechallenge.com. And let me help you shift your speaking career into higher gear. Like and subscribe, comment below, share this broadcast, and make sure you join us for our upcoming challenge. We cannot wait to serve you more. Can't wait to see you soon. And make sure that you know that I'm somewhere around the planet believing in you and expecting you to shift everything that you got going on into a higher gear. Talk to you soon.